It's nice to see you again. My name is Michael Williams, Pro90D founder and speech coach. If you've been struggling with your speech and you've been following this series, which I hope you have been, we're going to go ahead and put links to all the other videos in the description so you can go back and watch the entire series. We've been talking about how, in as little as 15 minutes a day, you can begin to transform your speech. And what we've said is that Pro90D makes you smile, And we're using the word smile as an acronym, or as an acrostic. It makes up a word, but each of the letters means something. So you might be wondering, well, how does Pro90D, or how can Pro90D help me transform my speech? How will it help me say what I want to say, when I want to say it, smoothly, clearly, and confidently? How can Pro90D improve and increase the quality of my life so that I can do the things I've always wanted to do? I can participate in the conversations I've always wanted to participate in. How is Pro90D able to help me do that? So we're going to just do a very, very quick review and take a look at each of the areas that Pro90D helps you improve. Now, some people may be thinking, well, I just want to improve my speech. I am not able to clearly articulate my thoughts when I want to. Sometimes I get anxious. Sometimes I speak too fast. Sometimes I lose my train of thinking. Sometimes I stutter or I stammer or I run out of air. Whatever the situation may be for you, you're probably wondering, you're probably thinking, well, how can Pro90D help me improve that? But what we've said in earlier sessions is, generally speaking, for the vast majority of people who struggle with their speech, it's more than just working on and focusing on the mechanical issues, right? The mechanics of speaking. So we said that Pro90D can help you improve, yes, your speech, the mechanics of speaking, how you enunciate, how you articulate, how you breathe, your voice inflections, and all of those things. Yes, Pro90D helps you improve that. And we help you do it through our daily routine, which I'm going to be sharing with you, and which I have shared with you earlier, but we're going to share it again. So yes, Pro90D does help you with the mechanics of speech. It helps you improve your speaking mechanics. But we also know, and you know, probably from personal experience, that speaking well isn't just a function of the mechanics, physically, of how you physically speak. It's also a function of how you think, your mindset, right? So Pro90D helps you improve your mindset. But it's not just how you think. It's not just how you speak. It's also who you believe yourself to be as a speaker. How you believe you're able to speak. So it's your belief, it's your identity, it's your self-concept, right? So it's your identity. So Pro90D helps you improve your speaking identity, right? Who you believe yourself to be, who and how you see yourself as a speaker. That will drive your thinking, and it will also drive your speech, the way that you speak. So your identity is critically important. Your identity and mindset are even more important than the way you speak, all right? So we have to deal with these things. So Pro90D helps you improve what? Your speech, your mindset, and your identity. What else does Pro90D help you improve? Well, as a result of improving the way that you speak, the way that you're able to communicate, right, verbally, and by improving your mindset so that you have more confidence, you're more influential, you're more persuasive, by improving the way you see yourself when you walk into a room or when you say something, people listen, you're also going to be able to improve your livelihood and your lifestyle, right? So you'll be able to get those better jobs. You'll be able to make those sales. You'll be able to be that person that's at the top of the mind of your employers, your colleagues, and your clients, right? When people think of the person that they want to buy from, the person that they want to employ, a person that they want to promote, they will think of you first. Why? Because of your communication skills. So Pro90D helps you improve your livelihood, which means more than likely you will have a greater capacity to earn more and to do and have the things that you'd like to have. But Pro 90D also helps you improve your life experiences in general. So you'll have a better social life. You'll be able to participate in conversations and laugh and talk and tell jokes or tell stories, defend yourself if you need to. So your social relationships, your social life will be better. Your personal and intimate relationships will be better. You'll be able to communicate. I've had people say, I'm finally able to have better and longer and deeper conversations with my mom or with my dad or with my spouse. So Pro 90D helps you improve your relationships, your social life, and yes, your professional life as well. So the experiences that you have at work, or if you're at home and you're working online, the experiences that you have when you're in those meetings, when you're communicating with people, will be better. You will feel better about yourself when you're able to say the things you want to say in the way that you want to say it and when you want to say it, right? You'll feel better, so your experiences will be better. So today, we are going to jump forward and talk about the routine. Now, we've gone over this routine before, but we call it the daily routine. You may see it as daily blueprint, but we just call it routine for now, okay? And I'm going to just pop up a little slide or two here. So we've been talking about how you can start with as little as 15 minutes and improve your speech. And let's just talk about this 15 minutes, and we'll talk about it again. This is a minimum. This is a bare minimum. But what this does is it gives you flexibility so that if you have a day where you just don't feel like doing anything, just don't feel like doing the routine, if you're tired or you're very, very busy on a particular day or a week, you can flex the activities. You can bring it down to the bare minimum amount of time that you do these activities. But what's important is that you create the habit, the consistent habit of performing or doing these activities each and every day. The habit of doing them every day will get you where you want to go, okay? But if you say, oh, I'm too busy today, I just can't do anything, then what you've done is you've broken that string, you've broken that track record that you've been developing. What you're actually doing is you are interrupting the process of neuroplasticity. You're interrupting the process of neuroplasticity. That means that your brain needs, the neurons in your brain needs to communicate with each other on a consistent basis so that they develop a relationship. And we're talking about the neurons that manage the way you think, the way that you speak, the way that you act, right? The ones in the areas of your brain that manage those behaviors, those activities, need to be communicating every single day, all day long, so that you develop this into a skill and a habit. Does this make sense? So when you don't perform an activity, when you don't do the activity, that is, if you don't practice, if you don't actually try to do what it is that you're learning, that I'm going to show you, then you weaken that communication, and so it never really becomes a habit. You don't learn the skill. You don't develop the habit. Does that make sense, right? So you have to do it every day, even if it's not as much as you would like, but it needs to be some, at least some. So we're going to look at the actual practices. Okay, so I'm going to run through these, then make the slide a little smaller so you and I can see each other. But the first one is affirmations. The second one is breathing exercise. The third is visualization or verbalization. The second one is audio listening and or video watching, right? The fifth one is modeling and free flow speaking practice. The sixth one is real life, that is practical application, actually getting out there, trying to use what you're learning. So every time you speak, you have to remind yourself to do the thing that you're learning, right? And then self-talk. This is helping you to raise your awareness, of what you're actually doing. So you have to remind yourself, you have to be able to speak to yourself in the moment. If you don't, you will always, always, always revert back to your normal activity, right? Your norm, the way that you usually speak, the way that you usually think, the way that you usually act, if you don't talk to yourself in the moment and remind yourself, your brain will revert back to its norm, to its comfort zone, to what it usually does. Okay? So let's walk through these and we'll show you right here, affirmations. Now you're wondering, well, what affirmations do I use? Well, here's where in the very beginning I told you that yes, in order to take full advantage of this, you're going to need to at least get the self-study, because everything is there. Everything is in the self-study. It's a relatively small investment. Trust me, no matter where you live in the world, if you're watching this, if you have a cell phone, if you have internet and you're watching this, most people are able to scrape up enough to afford the self-study. So at least get started with that. So affirmations, you'll find a series of affirmations that I've given you in the self-study. They're affirmations that you want to say to yourself. There's also some affirmations that you can listen to, right? And you can start out with as little as 2 minutes a day doing these affirmations. Every morning, in the evening, and throughout the day, but definitely in the morning and the evening, especially in the morning, you want to do these affirmations. You can just take 2 minutes to do them. In the course, we show you how to structure those affirmations, when to do it, and how to do it. The second thing is the 7-7-7 breathing exercise. There's various variations on this, but we're using the 7-7-7. And we say that you can do this for just 1 minute, right? You can start out every day doing the 7-7-7 breathing exercise for just 1 minute. That's it. So now we're up to 3 minutes. Visualization and verbalization. Again, we explain what this is, especially verbalization. Most of you have heard of visualization, but you may not have heard of verbalization. It's something that I actually created, right? It's modification of some other things. And you can verbalize or visualize in as little as 2 minutes a day. It's 2 minutes a day. So now we're up to about 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Who doesn't have 5 minutes? Right? Everyone has 5 minutes. Verbalization, visualization, very, very powerful tools. And someone says, oh, I'm not sure if that works. Well, guess what? It has already been working in your life. Whenever you worry about something, or whenever you go back and you regret something, or you replay something, you're visualizing. So it's already been working. You're just going to take control of that process and use it as an advantage instead of a disadvantage. You're going to use it in a constructive way instead of a destructive way. Okay? Visualization, verbalization, just 2 minutes a day. Audio listening or video watching, 5 minutes, right? You can just go in and listen to one audio or listen to part of an audio each day just to get started, right? 5 minutes a day, you can get started listening to audio or watching video. Now, mind you, these are the bare minimum times. You can obviously listen to audio much longer, for a much longer period of time. You can affirm, you can breathe, you can visualize much longer than these minimum times. But this is just to get you started so that no one can say, I don't have 15 minutes a day. I don't have 5 minutes. I don't have 2 minutes to do this. Everyone can find those little moments where you can do these exercises. Absolutely everyone. It doesn't matter how busy you are. In fact, my best clients and my most successful clients are my busiest clients. These are people who have families. Sometimes they're doctors or they're attorneys, and they're busy, but they actually are very good time managers, and they're able to fit these things in and actually spend sometimes hours doing these things, believe it or not. So, audio listening, video watching, just 5 minutes. Modeling and free flow speaking. Now let me back up. You're probably wondering, well, what audio do I listen to? Which videos do I watch? It's in the self-study. We have a whole library of audios and videos that are designed and put in a sequence to specifically address all of the things that we've been talking about in this series. That's what this is about. Everything in the program is designed to address your speech, right? The mechanics, your mindset. Remember, smile. Your mindset. What's the I stand for? Your what? Your identity. The audios and the videos and the exercises are all designed to address, to help you improve your identity, right? What's the L? The L stands for your livelihood and your lifestyle. The audios and videos are designed to help you improve that, right? And then all of your other experiences, the audios and the videos and the exercises, are designed to help you improve the quality of your life, the quality of your experiences. It's all in the program. It's in the system. So you need to get the system, get it. Don't just watch the videos and try to create your own. You can do that, but it's going to take you a long time, and you're not necessarily going to have the most up-to-date things, and it's going to be scattered. It's going to be all over the place, and you're going to waste a lot of time and money doing that. Invest the money. Get the course. Get the course. I buy courses. I buy audios all the time. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars actually in courses and in coaching, and I'm not exaggerating. And I continue to buy courses, right, so that I can build my capacity. This will be one of, if not the, but it'll be one of the very best investments that you make. When you invest in yourself and in your communication skills, you can see a direct return in your income and your ability to clear those interviews, get those jobs, get those promotions, make those sales. You can see the money coming back by investing. Now, just because you buy the course or you do the coaching, it doesn't magically happen. You have to do the work, right? You have to do the work, just like anything else. You go through school, you study, you practice for an interview. You have to do the work. But once you have the tools, it makes the work a lot easier. So, modeling, free flow speaking. What's modeling? Well, modeling is something that we all do, that we all have done. The way that you learned how to speak, many of your characteristics and mannerisms, you learned by modeling the people around you, sometimes without even knowing it. We still model people around us, and sometimes we don't know it, right? So modeling is very, very natural, and it's a powerful tool out of observational learning. It's a powerful tool for learning, not just for children, but for adults. It's a very, very powerful tool. So you will learn what modeling is and how to practice it. You'll also learn the free flow speaking tool or technique, which helps you develop a flow. It helps you to speak without having to think and pre-plan what you're saying. It will help you to think while you speak, or it will help you to, yes, sometimes think before you speak. But what I see is that often people are in such a habit of anticipating and thinking ahead and scanning ahead that they literally interrupt their own flow. They're not able to stream their thoughts smoothly. And so they're anticipating and they're speaking in a choppy manner. They're starting and stopping. They're literally interrupting themselves. And so their speech doesn't come out very smooth. It's not very clear. But you can change that. You can develop the habit of literally like streaming your thoughts, right? Where you don't literally have to think about every little thing about the subjects and about the words. You can stream your thoughts. And so free flow speaking helps you do that. Free flow speaking helps you with airflow. If you have a problem with your airflow cutting off, or with not breathing, or not remembering to breathe, the free flow speaking exercise can help you do that. So modeling and free flow speaking in the course. You get it in the course. Buy the course. Get the course. Enroll in the course, and you'll learn how to do that. And you want to practice that for like 5 minutes. Again, that's a minimum. If you want to practice that for 10, for 15, for 20, for 30, for 45 minutes, I have people who do that. And you can do that. But on a day when you just don't feel like it, you're too busy, you can flex it all the way down to just a few minutes. 5 minutes goes by just like that, right? Okay, also, number 6, real life practical application. What this means simply is that you need to be putting into practice what you're learning each and every day, right? You need to be putting into practice. So this is kind of real life. Real life. This is practical application, right? Practical application. And what goes along with the practical application is number 7, which is self-talk. So let's talk about self-talk here and see what I mean. So if you just take the course, or even if you just do the coaching, but you don't get out and actually practice in real life, then what ends up happening is you aren't able to perform under pressure in real life, right? That's why if you do a program that lifts you out of your natural environment and takes you someplace else for a period of time, be it days, weeks, or months, and then you go back to your regular environment, you're going to have certain things, certain stressors that you experience at home that you were not experiencing there at that place. And so when you experience those stressors, it will trigger old memories, and eventually it can, I'm not saying it will, but eventually it can bring back, can trigger, can reactivate those old habits, those old memories, right? That old identity. So what Pro90D does is it leaves you in your current environment with your current stressors, right? The people, the places, the things that you normally do. We leave you there, and then we strongly encourage you, in fact, you have to do this. You then have to take what you're learning and try to use it and apply it in your everyday life. The phone calls, the people, the meeting. Now, the difference in just doing those things every day and continuing to struggle and fail, the difference in that and in what we're asking you to do is that now you have tools, right? You have a new way to do it. And it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to implement it or execute it initially or immediately, but if you keep practicing, if you follow the system, you follow the daily routine that we've laid out, you will be able to eventually. Some people it takes them longer, and some people it doesn't take long at all. It really depends on the person, on how much you immerse yourself, right? If you just stick with 15 minutes, yeah, it's probably going to take you longer. But some people who immerse themselves, and you can do that slowly, just think of this image. You're going to a beach, and you want to eventually immerse yourself. You can walk, you can wade out into the water, and you can keep it around your ankles for a while, but you're not going to be fully wet unless a wave hits you. And you can walk along the beach with it just around your ankles, right, for a while. At some point, if you want to get fully wet, you're going to have to wade out further into that water. And as you go out further, the water starts to come up until you're completely immersed. So at some point, yes, you're going to have to immerse yourself in order to be fully wet with, right, fully immersed in this process, which will speed up the process. So you're going to need to actually get out and apply what you're learning in your everyday, real life speaking situations. How do you do that? Well, number one, you have to become aware. So you have to raise your awareness that, in fact, hey, I'm getting ready to speak, or hey, I'm speaking. Because speaking is kind of like walking. It's something that you just do. You don't necessarily think about the fact that you're speaking, or the fact that you're thinking. You don't necessarily think about how you're speaking. You just do it. What Pro90D does is it helps you raise your awareness. Uh-oh, I'm speaking now. And so I need to correct it. I need to change the way that I'm speaking. I need to change the way that I'm breathing. I need to change the way that I'm thinking right now. You have to raise your awareness of what you're actually doing. So you raise your awareness. The process, through this process of watching videos, listening to audio, affirming, and talking to yourself helps you raise your awareness. You have to do this every day, all throughout the day. Then you talk to yourself in the moment. You say, okay, for example, just relax, just take your time. Extend your words, just extend your word, or blend your words. These are proactive speaking techniques that I'm talking about. Oh, remember to breathe, remember to breathe, remember to breathe. Just take your time, just slow down, relax, relax, relax. So these might be some affirmations or self-talk that you tell yourself in the moment while you are speaking. Now, someone says, well, Mike, I don't have time to be talking to myself when I'm in a conversation, when I'm in a meeting, when I'm explaining something. Well, actually, yes, you do, because you will find that when you're in a conversation, you're in a meeting, you'll have thoughts of, oh, I hope I don't get stuck again. I hope I don't get stuck on this word. I hope I don't block. I hope I don't make a fool out of myself. I hope I'm able to make a good impression. I hope I'm able to. I hope I don't. You're thinking those things all the while you're speaking, while the other person is speaking. And so you actually do have the mental capacity to think, to talk to yourself while you are speaking and or while the other person is speaking, right? You can split your attention in a sense to listening and to reminding yourself to do certain things. It doesn't mean that you get all up in your own head and stay there, but you have the capacity, your brain can take in a lot of data, and at the same time, you can remind yourself to do certain things. So trust me, you can do this. And the good news is that you won't have to do it forever. Once it becomes a habit, the brain takes that conscious activity and pushes it down into parts of your brain that automate it so that it doesn't have to use so much energy, right? When you have to think of something consciously, like how you're speaking, your brain uses a lot of energy, and so you feel sometimes exhausted. You feel mentally and physically exhausted. You actually feel resistance to doing it. Sometimes your brain will try to justify that you can't do it, or why you shouldn't do it, or it's not working. That's your brain not wanting to use as much energy to think about how you're speaking. You have to understand that this will happen and that you need to resist it, that you need to actually continue to think that you're speaking and how you want to speak. And the more you do that, the tighter the communication becomes, right? The stronger, the more intimate the communication becomes between those neurons that manage your speech, that manage your behavior, that manage the way you think. And the tighter the communication becomes, that is, the more those neurons fire together, the more they communicate, the more they wire together, the tighter, stronger their relationship. And once it gets to a certain level, you reach what we call automaticity, where you don't have to think of it anymore. This is when you've developed a habit or you've learned a skill. Does that make sense? So it's very, very important that you do all of these things and that you do self-talk, especially in your daily activities, in your daily conversations. Think of it very much like learning a new language. If you want to actually be able to speak that language, ordering food and in conversations, right, in real life situations, then you, at some point, you got to put yourself out there and try to use that language. You can learn from books, you can learn from videos, you can learn from audio, you can practice at home, but you have to actually get out there knee to knee, face to face, and try to use it. And here's the thing that's going to happen when you try to use it. It's going to break down, and it's not going to work as well as you thought it would. It's not going to work as well as you would like at first. But if you keep doing it, you desensitize yourself to, I got to say this, or, oh, this person's looking at me. I hope I don't sound. You desensitize yourself. You build more confidence. You strengthen those connections that manage that language, right? And the language centers of your brain. And all of a sudden, you find that you're able to say more fluid and fluent sentences and phrases. And then you're able to say them without thinking. And then they get longer and they get more, right? It becomes more and more natural. But that doesn't happen from just you practicing by yourself. Yes, that can help. But it happens when you actually get out and put into practice what you're learning. And you will feel resistance. So the thing that you want to remember is that by using these 7 daily practices, and by making sure that you have this minimum covered each and every day, you can begin to improve your speech in as little as 15 minutes a day. Okay? I hope that makes sense to you. So this is something that if you think about it, this will work for you, right? If you do something about it, it will work for you. So what I want to do is wrap this up by encouraging you to take one or two steps. Number one, some of you who've been watching me, you're ready to work with me one-on-one. Why would you want to work with me one-on-one? Why would you want to invest that kind of money? Working with me one-on-one, it makes the process faster and easier. Why? Because I can help you. I can't make you, but I can help you stay more accountable, which means you'll be more consistent in doing these activities that we know that's been proven to transform, to improve your speech, your mindset, your identity, your livelihood, and your experiences. We know this. We've seen this for a decade now. And so coaching helps hold you accountable, which helps you stay consistent. Coaching also helps give you the evaluation and feedback, right? So from all of the thousands and thousands of hours that I've spent working with people and researching this and thinking about this, I've developed a high level expertise where I can look at you and I can listen to you and I can say, in a personalized, customized way, here's what you need to focus on now. And then maybe after a few weeks, a couple of months, I can say, okay, now you and I are going to focus on this. If you were trying to do that on your own, you may be trying to focus on everything and you may feel overwhelmed, or you may be focusing on the wrong things, right? The system is designed so that if you do everything, you'll get to where you want to go. That is, if you're taking the self-study, just do everything. But it generally takes people a bit longer working on their own. However, working on your own is better than not working at all. Working through the system on your own is 1,000 times better than not doing anything at all, or just watching a video here or trying this. Get the system, follow the process, get the self-study, but if you're able, do the coaching, if we have space, because it will make the process faster and easier, because you'll be more consistent and you'll be more focused and you'll stick. And the coaching helps you stay encouraged. Sometimes people think something's not working, and it actually is. They just need to stick with it. When people are working on their own, they get distracted, they get discouraged, and then they start slowing down or they quit. Or the opposite happens. They see it working, and we get this a lot. They see it working, and then they stop. But they didn't do it long enough for it to become automatic. They say, oh, I got it now. After a few months or after a few weeks, I got it. I'm speaking better. And then they stop, and all of a sudden they feel themselves slipping back. So I will be able to tell you, hey, you need to stick with this until you reach this level, right? So coaching accelerates the process and it makes it easier, makes it faster and easier. But if you're not able or you're not sure if you want to do coaching now, at least start with what? With the self-study. Okay, start with the self-study. So thank you for watching this series. I hope that you have been able to see exactly how Pro 90D works and exactly how the activities that we give you in the daily routine, how those activities are designed to help you improve your what? Your smile. And what does smile stand for? What's the S again? Your speech, yes. And the M, your mindset. The I, your identity. Yes, very good. I can hear you answering. The L, your livelihood and your lifestyle. And then the E, all of your life experiences, right? Pro 90D will help you smile. And all that you need to do is get started with the self-study, get started with the coaching. Either one of those will work for you. Okay? Thank you so much. My name is Michael Williams. I do look forward to seeing you inside the system and to watching you progress, to watching you grow, watching you smile. We'll see you later.